Gator Trim Lights, Fair Life Milk, Titan MRI Imaging, QC Kinetics, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Quality Plumbing, Campus USA Credit Union, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
It is time to eat some lunch and talk some sports. Welcome into a Thursday edition of Sports Scene as you listen here on WRUF, powered by ESPN. Jessica is our producer. And by the way, if you're getting a sort of a deja vu here with Jessica, our producer, she's going to be the producer. So glad to have her. She does a great job for us, and she is a big asset to our program here. Before I go any further, I hope I've done justice to this, but if I have not, I want to say two words. Thank you. So many of you have reached out either on a phone call or an email or a text about coming back, missing the show, whatever that is. That is so humbling and so gratifying. You don't have to do that, but you did. So for those who did that, thank you. Believe me, it does not go unnoticed. It's, after doing it all those years, to come back and do it again for however long. But thank you. I just wanted to say that at the top of the show because so many of you have reached out, and I've tried as best I can to reach out to everybody that's done it. But hopefully this will satisfy that, whether you're listening on radio or YouTube or Facebook, however you're doing, really want to say a big thank you. We broadcast live from the Gator Trim Light studio. Gator Trim Light, you can show your Gator pride by turning your home orange and blue on game days. How about that? Locally owned, operated right here in Gainesville. We have a good show planned for you today. Good guests, too, on the show. We're going to start off by talking a little high school football. Mark Whittemore, the coach over at Buchholz, will join us at the bottom of the hour. Then some guy named Urban Meyer will be here at about 12:45. And then in the 1 o'clock hour, my buddy Kyle Crooks, who, if you remember him doing a lot of games here, softball, women's basketball, etc., he is now the new play-by-play voice at Nebraska. He'll be joining us. And then he's back, just like me. He's back. Couldn't stay away. R.J. Fuhr, who left Oakhall for a year, he's now back as the Eagles head football coach. He'll join us at 1:45. Tomorrow, we hope to have Herm Edwards here. And then we're going to talk with little football from Pro Football Focus. And then one of my former students, Jonathan Acosta, who's in Buffalo. We want to get a preview of some of the NFL teams where our people are at. He'll talk about the Buffalo Bills. Okay? So, with that, let me give you some other things we can discuss today, too. We talked about the win total, right? What you guys thought would be a win total. Let me ask this. In your mind now, is Billy Napier off of the proverbial hot seat? If he is, tell me why you think that. If he isn't, tell me why you think that. Would love to know that. And I want to wish new coach Ryan Tice good luck. The Gator volleyball team, ranked number 16, opens its regular season by taking on number 6 Stanford and number 3 Pitt. How about that? Florida faces Stanford Friday at 9 on Fox. We'll take on Pitt Sunday at 1, and that'll be on ESPN. So there you go. And a big reminder, too, for college football. The season's cranking up this weekend, and we're going to be bringing you college football here. 2 ranked teams, Iowa State, Kansas State. It's going to be from Dublin, Ireland, 11:30 in the morning. Our coverage begins. So we are right back at it in terms of college football. All right, let's open up the phone lines, 392-8255. All of our phone line calls sponsored by Titan MRI and Imaging. Now with 3 locations in Gainesville, 1 in Lake City to serve you better. Same-day scheduling, always available. Call them up, start feeling better today, TitanMRI.com. You want to email? You can do that, srussell@wruf.com. Emails brought to you by International Diamond Center. Don't settle for a knockoff diamond when you can get the best diamonds at the best prices for quality, selection, and value. International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. And don't forget, our guests that come on, all brought to you by Meldon Law. With 54 years of experience, the only injury law firm partner of the Florida Gators, Meldon Law won't back down. And want to thank Quality Plumbing. Our first hour brought to you by Quality Plumbing. When you need a quality plumber, rely on the same company Gainesville's trusted since 1984. Quality Plumbing, their name says it all. All right, let's go to the phones. Daryl, hello.
Steve, good afternoon. I'm going to put you in shock today and ask you a couple NFL questions.
Okay, not so shocking, but okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because you don't get a lot of NFL talk on the show.
No, that's true.
About Florida.
That is true.
All right, Steve, I'm going to ask you about Jacksonville. You know, the franchise has been around since the mid-'90s, and they had, success with Coughlin, and they've had pockets of success through the years. But, it seems like every year, the local media in Jacksonville said this could be the year they make the playoffs, they can make the Super Bowl. And, they've moved on from Doug Peterson, and now it's Liam Cohen. It just seems like every year it's a revolving door with coaches. And the first part of the question is, do you think Jacksonville's one of those franchises that's probably one of the worst in pro sports right now?
Yes, honestly. Yes. I mean, it's right there with the Jets. It's right there with the Browns. They've had a little bit of success, but more often than not, they have not. And I don't know how good they're going to be. I'm going to try to get Mike DeRocco here, who covers the Jags next week when the season starts, because I just don't see it. I think that they had a bad offensive line. I don't see that group much better. And defensively, I think they were suspect. So we'll see. And that's a division that, isn't the toughest in the world. So, that may help them a little bit, but I don't know, as far as being elite, I think they're far from it.
Yeah. Well, you answered the question about the Jets. We can go back in the day. I was only 2 years old when the Jets won the Super Bowl and named up against the Colts. But, Steve, with Jacksonville, do you just think it's just, one wash machine spinning like another, where maybe it's bad management, they're not getting the right players? I mean, they've had numerous first-round picks, and it just seems like when they get these players, they go on to different franchises and they blossom here instead of in Jacksonville.
Well, there's a lot of reasons, and there's not, I don't think, Daryl, one. I mean, you could look at the Browns. Look how they screwed up their quarterback situation, right? And with Trevor Lawrence, when the Jags got him, you really thought that, hey, this is going to be great. I mean, he's the guy, he's a franchise-type guy, but I don't care how good you are at quarterback. You need help. You need protection. You need a running game. You need good receivers for that quarterback to be good. And they just have not had that on a consistent basis.
Right. And Steve, I was calling in when you asked about Urban Meyer. What was that question, please?
I don't think I asked a question about Urban.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was wondering what the question of the day was as fans,
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
Okay.
Appreciate
all right,
you, Daryl.
Steve, that answered about the Jaguars.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Bring Byron in. Hi, Byron.
Hey, Steve. Always love the show, man. And Steve, I tell you what, really about I think his name Daryl, but I love your callers, so that's why I get on so early, and hopefully I get people going, because I really your show is caller friendly, and I love it for that reason. And I'm gonna fool you today and talk baseball, Steve. Just being facetious, and word I got from you, man. The Yankees playing in Tampa is like something that's their home stadium. They like hitting home runs on every pitch, man. But the question I want to ask you to talk baseball today, man. Atlanta is an off team from us, Steve, from years, and you know why, back in the 70s, 80s. But I'm a Tampa fan, and kind of read the Marlins. Do we have any chance of any of those teams making it? And your Mets, shout out to the polar bear, I think. But what do you take on baseball real quick before I ask my last question, Steve?
I don't think the Rays or the Marlins or the Braves will make the playoffs. The Rays have not been playing well. They were playing pretty well early, but second half of the year, I think they're 4 or 5 games under 500 now, and they're a ways back in the wild card, so they would have to get hot. They've already played, 125 games, so you're looking at, 40 more games left, less than that.
Yeah.
They really have to go on a hot streak here, and they've just been too inconsistent. The Marlins aren't going to make it, but they're better. I mean, the Marlins have been really bad. They flirted with a playoff spot and then kind of faded away. I think they're 6 or 7 games under 500 now. And the Mets lost to the Nationals yesterday. They are hanging on by a thumbnail to qualify for the playoffs, but they're not playing good baseball right now. They are not.
Steve, it's ironic that, you're my favorite, and Larry Vitale, both of you guys from New York. So I try to root for New York teams, and then, it seems like, the Jets and the Yankees and the Mets, they just always killing us. So it's like a bad thing. I root for the Mets and them, and then they kill us. But let me go on to my last question, Steve, about Coach Napier. Steve, this is in pro, and thank you for the Jag call. So I wish we talked more pro football. But, Steve, every job in football, pro and college, if you disagree, let me know, is dependent on the quarterback. I would say, I'm not saying that if Lagway stays healthy the whole year and plays, that's going to be Napier, calling card. But 7-4 might be a little, 5 could be a little itchy with us Gator fans. But if I think Lagway can play the whole way, which is with Trevor Lawrence and every quarterback, the guy that transferred from Boston, I don't want to try to name his name, at Florida State and down to Miami, in the pros. If the quarterback is healthy that you got there and he's good, that's your saving grace in the football. And if you disagree, tell me why, but you better have a little defense too. Thanks, Steve. Go Gators!
All right, Byron, thank you. Appreciate it. Don't forget, as you listen, watch Facebook, YouTube, if a Facebook Live question, they're brought to you by Ruse Ogra State Farm. State Farm agent Ruse Ogra is your go-to agent in Gainesville and North Central Florida for the service you deserve at the price you want. And our YouTube questions brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union, where Coach Spurrier does his banking. Campus USA, founded at the University of Florida, serving our Gator community for 90 years. We'll come back, take your questions, calls, and comments. Buchholz's coach, Mark Whittemore, is going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Urban Meyer yet to come in the hour as well, as you listen to Sports Scene on WRUF, powered by ESPN.
What's stronger?
A Gator Chomp?
Or our coverage of Gator Nation?
Stay on top of the Florida Gators all season.
WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2. Keeping you connected to Gator Nation. ESPN Gainesville is WRUF.
The most important thing I learned from my father was work ethic and integrity. Never veer away from integrity, even if it costs you money.
International Diamond Center owner Keith LeClaire.
The core value for IDC is to protect the customer.
That means offering the largest selection, uncompromising quality, the strongest warranties, and honest guidance from experts who are not paid on commission. International Diamond Center at Celebration Point. Online, shopidc.com.
Titan MRI, North Central Florida's premier independent diagnostic testing MRI facility. At Titan MRI, we're focused on you, the patient, having a great customer experience. Our MRI equipment is modern and 75% quieter than any unit in its class. And our MRI unit has one of the largest openings of any of the newer high-strength MRI units, which allows comfortable scanning for potential claustrophobic and larger patients. At Titan MRI, we look forward to serving you.
When the unexpected happens, you need a legal team that's ready to fight for you, just like the Florida Gators. At Meldon Law, we're proud to partner with the Florida Gators to deliver winning results for those who have been injured at no fault of their own. With a strong record of success and a team that won't back down, Meldon Law is your trusted partner in tough times. Call Meldon Law at 352-373-8000 or visit us at meldonlaw.com.
Hi, I'm Coach Steve Spurrier, and I am a member of the Campus USA Credit Union. The Gator Nation has been counting on Campus USA Credit Union for over 80 years. Campus supports the Gators and our community. Campus membership is open to all UF students, faculty, staff, and alumni. Come see why over 100,000 members, like me, count on Campus USA Credit Union. So put some star power to work in your financial life. Visit campuscu.com and join today.
I'm tired of you living in pain, and I want you to get real lasting relief from chronic pain in your knees, back, shoulders, and hips. QC Kinetics can get you moving again with cutting-edge regenerative treatments with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Stop putting it off. Call now and schedule your free consultation. Call QC Kinetics now in Gainesville, Ocala, and the Villages. 352-400-4550. 352-400-4550.
He's got the 1966 Heisman Trophy, the 1996 National Championship Trophy, and 7 SEC trophies. Now he's got a new trophy, a can of beer. Steve Spurrier was the head ball coach. Now you can call him the head beer coach. Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager is available in 16-ounce cans at Gator games and stores all across Gainesville. You can also get it in the can or on draft at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Refreshing in all kinds of weather, Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager, a legend in a can.
This is Sean Kelly, voice of the Gators, and you're listening to the home of Gators football, right here on WRUF.
Don't forget to check us out on the WRUF app, Facebook, and YouTube at WRUF, the home of the Gators. And you can check out our daily clip of the day on WRUF, Facebook, and YouTube at WRUF, home of the Gators, brought to you by our friends at Fairlife Milk. If you want to advertise on the show, contact Freddie, 352-284-3733. Well, the high school football season getting ready to crank up. And coming off a terrific year last year, Buchholz, coached by Mark Whittemore, he is going to join us now to talk about the team and the schedule this year. Mark, good to have you back. Welcome.
Hey, great to be on with a legend, Steve Russell. I mean, just being on your show just tickles me on a game day.
Well, thank you for saying that. That's very much appreciated. Sometimes I think when you coach, sometimes you don't get to look back and breathe and think, boy, we really accomplished something. Did you get a chance to do that after the great year you had a year ago?
Well, Steve, there's no real time, as you know, to rest on your laurels. We've got to push ahead and really make sure that we've got the 25 team where it needs to be to continue success. So I think that our motto is just kind of let's keep this train rolling.
Tell me about this year's team. What do you see? What do you like?
Well, I like us up front on both sides of the ball, which is a good thing. We've got a couple of rush-ins that are playing really good football right now after the Classic game and the spring game and a good summer camp. Really like what we're doing on the front defensively. I expect us to get a good push there. Also, I like us up front offensively. We're averaging about 308.
Wow.
6'3". We're a big, formidable front, and really want to make sure that we get the most out of those big athletic bodies. And so, really looking for us to manage the line of scrimmage this year.
When I played, our biggest guy up front was 220, and we thought he was a beast. That's just crazy.
Well,
it's crazy
yeah,
now.
It really is. I mean, the game, the size of these guys on the offensive and defensive line is a real differential in this era for sure. Yeah, you're right, Steve.
Who do you open up with? Tell us about them.
Well, we got Vanguard tonight. Yep. So we're the only game in town here at Citizens Field this evening. We're opening with Ocala Vanguard, who is chock full of good players. So it's going to be a fantastic game there at Citizens, as usual, between us and Vanguard. They're highly ranked. We're highly ranked, and it should be a wonderful opener. Coach Farmer does an incredible job with that program there in northern Ocala. And so 7 o'clock tonight at Citizens Field.
Give me a little X's and O's here, Mark. When you look at a video of them, Coach Farmer's been there. What do you see with what his teams bring to the table?
Well, he keeps it pretty simple, I would say. He allows his players to play. They play fast. They play really well in the space that he puts them in. They're not going to bring a lot of smoke and mirrors. They're just going to play their 4-3 and get after you, and they're going to do it with some really, really good athletes. So, X's and O's wise, you're going to have to beat some man coverage, and you're going to have to block up a defensive front and box that's usually got 6 to 7 players. Rarely do they empty out and play zone. So it's a tough out for sure. Just scheme wise and also with their length and athleticism.
Buchholz football coach Mark Whittemore joining us here on the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line as we bring you high school coverage, and we will do that for the entirety of the year. With your success, Mark, has it become tougher to schedule?
We play the third toughest schedule in the state, regardless of classification.
Wow. So
if that answers your question, the answer is yes. I mean, Steve, we want to play good people.
Yes.
So that's not all inflicted by our success. I mean, we're also wanting to schedule up and challenge ourselves. And in this rating system, I mean, shoot, you need quality opponents. Last year we were 3-3 to open the season, and we were the highest rated 3-3 team maybe in the country. So playing a tough schedule, even though you might lose a couple games, ends up being advantageous in the long run.
You kind of touched on, I was going to flip that in terms of, okay, when you sit down to make a schedule, yeah, my schedule's tough, but because of that point system or whatever it is, you've got to make that schedule that way, don't you?
Well, you really do. You can't dilly-dally around and leave it up to winning the district championship. We play, we've got Nice and Bartram in our district, and they're going to be really, really good football teams year in and year out. So, we need to make sure that our schedule is one that's going to grade out well, kind of an RPI type deal.
All right. It's going to be Buchholz tonight, don't forget, at Citizens Field as Coach Farmer's Vanguard team comes in to take on the Bobcats. Always appreciate you, Mark. Thank you. And again, as the season wears on, we will get you back a bunch of times. But thank you for doing this.
Hey, can't wait. Look forward to this 25 season and appreciate all you do, Steve, for sports here in this area.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. Mark Whittemore, the Buchholz football coach, has done a fantastic job over there. All right. Let's get to our International Diamond Center email here. Let's see. I got to get to it here. Okay. Dustin says, I think the Gators and Billy are trending upward toward a playoff run, hopefully more. Ended last year with 4 wins, a couple of ranked wins at that. Dominant bowl win over Tulane. How about Waldrop last night? 7 shutout. I was going to mention that later. He has been lights out in what has been a disappointing Atlanta season. He's been terrific. And Langford is his first ever leadoff homer for the Texas Rangers. It's good to see those Gators doing really well. Brian says, glad to have you back. Thank you. He says, you're like a good pair of Levi's. It just feels right. Brian, I can tell you in 27 years, nobody has ever described sports scene in that way. So thank you for that, but it's great. He said, long story short, in 2025, you're never off the hot seat in college football. Coaching our athletes, unfortunately, with the atmosphere now between the portal and coaching turnover in general, quick to turn the page and move on. Billy's a good coach and a great man, but time is hardly ever afforded in 2025, no matter who you are. I don't like it, but I feel this is the case. Well, Brian, I can understand that. I understand that well. JJ says, glad to have you back. This week, the 12 to 2 hours has been flying by. Thanks to you and your listeners. You've been missed. Thank you. And again, at the top of the show, so many of you have reached out, and I am so grateful for that. He said, what do you think is our weakest personnel group? That's a great question. Maybe the back end. Maybe. Time will tell. You always talk about the strength and best personnel group, which this year is our offensive line, running back room, and wide receiver room. Yeah, if I had to pinpoint one, JJ, probably that one. Yesterday we talked about Anthony Richardson. Mike says, I remember his quote before a Gator game, when asked to describe his game, he said, I don't like to get hit, don't like to get dirty. He'd run out of bounds, short of a first down when the defender wasn't close. He was always injured, wish him the best, but he would be better playing in a flag football league. And Bob also says, wasn't a good high school quarterback, injured a lot, never had any big wins for his team, continued his injury-prone experience and mediocre quarterback skills at Florida, never won a big game. When he was in the first round, told friends, biggest mistake since the big QB from LSU was drafted several years ago. I said he'll never be a starter after 3 years in the league. Looks like I'll be correct. The Colts should have done their homework before drafting him. Well, I hope that people will just not give up on him, but we will see. Hey, Greg, hello.
Hey, Steve, quick question. I was reading something today. It said CBS Sports basically assembled a staff to, quote, offer up their SEC expert picks for the upcoming season. Long of the short, they said, unfortunately for Florida, they landed in the most overrated team category, end quote. Do you think Florida is overrated, Steve? And I'll listen up there, and they got a break coming up, and go Gators.
Thank you, Greg. Boy, that's tough. I can understand if you don't live in Gainesville that you might think that one could look at that and say, yeah, Florida is overrated. I think a lot of that is based on what happened last year at the end. A lot of that is based on a healthy DJ Lagway. But I can understand why somebody, outside of this place could say that they were a little bit overrated. Urban Meyer is going to join us in about 20 minutes. Make sure you stay with us here as you listen to Sports Scene on WRUF, powered by ESPN.
Your home for Thursday Night Football all season long, right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
We all expect quality in our service providers. The word itself means the degree of excellence of something. Now throw in the word plumbing after that, and it would mean the excellence of plumbing. And that's exactly what our community has been getting for 4 decades from the fine folks at Quality Plumbing. Now you can always spend time and money trying to fix things yourself, or you can call the professionals at Quality Plumbing and get it done right the first time. Quality Plumbing since 1984. Their name says it all. License number CFC 043073.
For over 2 decades, Miapa has been a staple in Alachua County. Start your day right at Miapa, where fast and affordable authentic cuisine awaits.
We're known for serving the best Cuban coffee.
Our secret is in every sip and every bite, bringing the flavor of our culture straight to your palate. Everyone is welcome at Miapa Latin Cafe. Visit us at one of our locations and let us take you on a journey full of flavor. Miapa Latin Cafe, where every bite is a taste of tradition.
You might know that State Farm agent Ruz Agra has great service. He's your good neighbor after all, but did you know that State Farm has surprisingly good rates too? Yep, that's right. Along with good neighbor service, State Farm agent Ruz Agra has surprisingly great rates for everyone in Gainesville and North Central Florida. So call State Farm agent Ruz Agra at 352-240-1779 for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
The best conversations happen with Los Linderos Tequila, like this recent conversation between 2 Gator legends.
Coach, it always impressed me how you beat Florida State to win the 1996 National Championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spur's Gridiron Grill. 100% agave Los Linderos Tequila, aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
Football season's almost here, which means the Hard Rock Bet party is just kicking off. Hey, it's Steve Russell. You're on the guest list. Sign up today, bet $5 on anything you like, and if it wins, you'll score $150 in bonus bets. That's extra betting funds with a W to kick off your season. So what are you waiting for? Let's get this party started on Hard Rock Bet today. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
This is Sean Kelly, voice of the Gators, and you're listening to the home of Gators football, right here on WRUF.
Welcome back. Don't forget, Gators soccer trying to rebound from a tough game against Florida State. They're going to open their home schedule 3 straight matches, and the first is today against Towson, and then North Florida here on Sunday. And we hope to have Samantha Bohan, the Gator soccer coach, on with us here on Monday. We're broadcasting live from the Gator Trim Light studio. Gator Trim Light, showing your Gator pride by turning your home orange and blue on game days. Locally owned and operated right here in Gainesville. Call us up on the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line, 392-8255. You can also email us, and that is on the International Diamond Center email, srussell@wruf.com. Tennessee Mike, hello.
Hey, Steve. Congratulations on getting the herb on here in 20 minutes. That's one of the reasons I love this station so much is y'all get Spurrier and Urban Meyer, 2 legends of the game. I can listen to both those guys read the phone book to me.
Yep, agreed.
All right, hey, Steve, I want to ask you real quick, speaking of high-profile coaches, about that and try to blow your mind as usual, as you know I like to do. Steve, I'm not a big Deion fan, but I do admire Colorado hiring Deion because, let's face it, a lot of people talking about Colorado football again. Same thing with UNC and Belichick. Even if that's a spectacular disaster, UNC is going to be must-watch this year. And, Steve, I was listening to an Arkansas guy. We all know Sam Pittman's on the hot seat. Not coming from me, Steve. I do think the guy got a raw deal. Still think he's probably an NFL coach. But I heard an Arkansas beat guy drop John Gruden's name a few days back, which would obviously draw a ton of attention. I'm a big fan, to I guess crystallize my comment, is of creative athletic directors. You could even throw Ole Miss hiring Kiffin in there when nobody wanted to touch him coming out of FAU. What do you think about somebody needing a coach hiring Gruden, college or pro?
In other words, do I think he'd be a good hire? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I think he's obviously a good hire because he would draw attention even if he loses. But what do you think about making the Cannonball a school, college, or pro needing a coach and hiring John Gruden?
Like I said, if I'm understanding what you're asking me, would a school, what kind of a hire would Gruden be? I mean, certainly he would bring cachet to that school because of his name, like Bill Belichick does at North Carolina. But the bottom line of all of that is the name won't mean a thing, Mike, if there's no success. And I'm not sure Belichick is going to be successful at North Carolina because that's the bottom line. I mean, you can hire God to be the coach, but if God goes 7-5, that's not going to work.
Well, Steve, I generally agree with you, but sometimes not, of course. And I don't know what a traditional North Carolina football season is. I would say it probably is somewhere like 7-5, 6-6. And think about the attention and ticket sales, et cetera, apparel sales that Belichick is helping out UNC football, not to mention credibility. I think all these big-name coaches, including Deion, bring an instant credibility to your program.
I don't disagree with that. I do agree. But you have to eventually win or lose games. That initial hire only goes so far.
Yeah.
How many games do you win? How many games do you lose is how you're judged.
Didn't Deion go 4-8 at Colorado last year, Steve?
I don't remember. Something like that. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but okay, but we're still talking about it. Hey,
no, you're talking about it. I don't know how many people are talking about it nationally, but
yeah, I don't know, Steve. Deion moves the needle. Whatever you think about him. Hey, I was just talking about high-profile coaches in general. By the way, Eddie George is at Tennessee State,
right.
And Michael Vick is at the dog killer Michael Vick somewhere. I don't know where he is, but these guys do draw eyeballs. Hey, last thing for you, Steve. I do like to blow your mind. You remember Sister Jean and Loyola Marymount going to the Final Four? Loyola Chicago going to the Final Four a few years ago.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, are you Catholic, by the way?
Yes.
Sister Jean, here's my cannonball since you're back, Steve. Wish Sister Jean happy birthday. She turned 106 today.
God bless her. All right, Mike, thank you. Appreciate your call. 392-8255. You can email the show, srussell@wruf.com. All right, let us delve into YouTube questions, and they're brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Joe says Billy isn't going anywhere. He's getting ready to take over the SEC. I can't wait to see this team play this year. I'm looking for 9-3. Kate from YouTube, what are you most excited to see this Gator football season? Boy, that's a great question, Kate. There's a lot of things. But I guess what I want to see is how Florida does in that gauntlet, because I think that's going to make or break them because of the schedule. You know, is Florida ready to break the pane of glass and not just play with the big boys, but beat them? Is Florida going to be elite at some point? Facebook questions brought to you by Ruse Ogra, State Farm. Nate says, you have Urban as a guest. Is it time for him to enter the Ring of Honor? Yes. Yes. I have long been a proponent of that. It is my belief Urban would have been in the Ring of Honor before this had he not screwed up in Jacksonville, with the Jaguar situation. I firmly believe that he'd be in the Ring of Honor now. And by the way, I don't know if you knew this or not, and somebody asked this yesterday, and I want to make sure I tell you this. Billy Donovan, of course, when I was doing my podcast, my Sports Scene podcast, I had Billy on. He's going to go into the Basketball Hall of Fame. He's going to be recognized during an in-game ceremony this weekend. Or I'm sorry, next weekend at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Okay? The class is going to be enshrined September 5th and 6th in Massachusetts. He was originally announced in April. So that's going to be kind of cool. But I did want to tell you about tickets because somebody asked about that yesterday. There's a limited number of tickets remaining for the game against LIU. Okay? Also, single game tickets are available for the other 5 home football games this year. Single game tickets. Okay? You can get those online at floridagators.com, or you can call the Gator ticket office or go see them in person. I think it's Gate 2, isn't it? West side of the stadium, I think, Gate 2. So I wanted to clarify that. A couple of people had asked that because they announced sellouts, but there are single game tickets available, including for the opener. So wanted to pass that along. And now, we're really getting into, soccer's already started. Volleyball is going to start now. Of course, football, for the Gators at least, next week. So we're finally getting into the season, and that is certainly a good thing. All right, let's get to Ron's email here. And Ron says, do the Mets make the playoffs? And if they don't, do they fire the manager? No, they don't fire the manager because the Mets have had 2 things happen to them. One, they've had an inordinate amount of injuries to their pitching staff. Number 2, some of the pitchers have not performed well. Let's just be honest about it. And number 3, they've not hit great. Soto's been okay. And again, if you want to talk about somebody justifying their salary, has he justified the salary? I would say no. I mean, no, he hasn't. So there you go. Jonesy says, it's been some lonesome days without your show. I had nothing to do except when the number 1 show at noontime wasn't on. Great to hear your voice again. Do you believe somebody can extend their pro career too long? For example, Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. Oh, sure. Jonesy, I saw that firsthand with Joe Namath. I saw it with John Unitas. It's sad to see players that hang on too long. Willie Mays, I saw it with when he was with the Mets at the end. So, you don't like to see that. I can only speak for me in this. You want to remember players in their prime. You don't want to remember a player, at the tail end of their career when they're not very good. He said Russell's run for 5,000 yards. No other quarterback's ever done that. Been a 10-time Pro Bowler. Rodgers is the 4-time league MVP. Do you believe the way they're playing now will move their names as the first ballot Hall of Famer? Rodgers, certainly not. I don't know if Russell Wilson would be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He says, I know you won't remove Rodgers' name for what he did to the Jets. No, of course not. I mean, look, Brett Favre went to the Jets too, right? That didn't particularly work out either. So, you just have to, hopefully they don't hang on too long because you don't want to see that. I think that's something that you just don't want to see. All right. Looking forward to my next interview. Hope you are too, because former Gator coach Urban Meyer is scheduled to join us next as you listen to Sports Scene on WRUF, powered by ESPN.
Your home for Sunday Night Football all season long, right here on WRUF.
It's lunchtime, and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their meatball sub with fries or onion rings, topped with the house sauce and lots of melted mozzarella.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
Silverback Concrete is a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists that builds commercial structures for contractors who expect unrivaled quality, including the head ball coach's restaurant, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. You only have one chance to make a building that holds up to the highest standards through all kinds of weather. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to see why they're the #1 choice in the Southeast. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete's got your back.
Transform your home with Gator trim lights. Professionally installed, permanent outdoor lighting that disappears by day and dazzles by night. Our patented color-matched channel blends seamlessly with your roofline. No clips, no wires, just a clean, custom look. Use the easy app to light up the holidays, birthdays, game days, any day. Energy efficient, built to last, and backed by a lifetime product warranty. Schedule your free estimate today at GatorTrimLight.com.
At Comfort Temp Heating and Air, we're proud to celebrate 40 years as your #1 local HVAC company. We offer energy-efficient solutions featuring quality products from Lennox. Whether it's new installation, system repairs, or routine maintenance, we promise to never sell you anything you don't need. Our professional and experienced technicians provide reliable service you can trust and will keep you informed throughout the entire process. At Comfort Temp, comfort is our business. Peace of mind is our promise.
Hey Gators, are you ready to rep your team in style? Head over to Alma Mater, the ultimate Florida Gator store right here in Gainesville, where you'll find everything you need to show off your Gator pride. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, we've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan. Whether you're gearing up for game day or just want to add some orange and blue to your wardrobe, we've got you covered. Everything designed and produced right here in the swamp. Visit us today at Alma Mater on the corner of 34th and University or almamaterdesign.com. Go Gators!
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
We've got warm and muggy conditions to start off this Thursday morning. Skies mostly clear. We'll have winds from the west this afternoon, occasionally gusting to about 15 miles an hour. Feeling hot and sticky, temperatures in the mid-90s, about 95. Your forecasted high for Gainesville. Heat index values near 105. And our sea breeze showers and thunderstorms should get kicked up near the Gulf Coast. They'll move inland and eastward through the evening. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
Josie's on a vacation far away. This is Sean Kelly, voice of the Gators, and you're listening to the home of Gators football, right here on WRUF.
Welcome back to the Gator Trim Light Studio. And now joining us on the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line is a name that, of course, you all know, former Gator coach Urban Meyer, who's going to be honored here. I'll get into that in just a second. Urban, always great to have you. Welcome in.
Always good to talk to you too, Steve.
Urban, it's really cool to see, what you've done with your tequila, what Steve's done with his beer. making the commercial when you were here at Spurrier's. How's that going? That was being there that day and watching that was really cool. And it was fun to see you guys interact and the wives interact. But, how's that going for you?
Oh, it's not my deal. It's a friend of mine, his business. I invested in it.
Yep.
It's nothing more than fun. And the guy that owns it is a Gator, and his name's Car Scott, and he's on, I believe, the foundation board down there. But it was their idea, and Freddie with that great restaurant, Coach Spurrier, and Coach Spurrier and I have always been friends. We've always got along. And they said, would you want to come up here and do it? And I said, chance to go see Coach Spurrier? Of course. And Shelley and Jerry are good friends. And so that's nothing more than fun, and we enjoy it.
By the way, congratulations, because your National Football Foundation on-campus salute coming here when the Gators host Tennessee in November. When did you find out about that, and what was your reaction when you found out?
Well, Steve McLean was our SID when I was there, and still a very good friend. And he started asking. And at first, I do the Fox Big Noon, and you know me fairly well. Steve really knows me, and I just rather not do that stuff. I'm honored, but I don't. I'm not. That's not my comfort zone. And he kept pushing and saying. And Coach, the athletic director, Scott, was great. And then, we started talking, well, what game and how about Tennessee? And, of course, I treated that game like it was the end all because, it's your first rivalry game. And Florida has a real interesting challenge. When I got there, and I'm nuts about the rivalry games. Our whole locker room, facility, everything was those three freaking games at Tennessee, Georgia, and Florida State. So when he said, and, of course, Shelley's the opposite. I'm the one that doesn't want to do it. She said, are you nuts? We're doing it. And so
I can hear her saying that.
She loves Gainesville, and she loves that kind of stuff. And so we look forward to it.
What part of your Big Noon kickoff on Fox, of course, will be part of that again. As you look at Florida, Urban, they're preseason ranked. Billy's done it sort of the old-fashioned way. He's hit the portal here and there, but he's really built his team through high school recruiting and all that. What do you see when it comes to Florida?
Well, I've been watching that Netflix, and I think it's called the SEC or something like that. I just was flipping through. I don't watch much TV, and I saw that, and I became a little bit addicted to it. And the whole Florida piece, and when they do the Tom Petty thing at the end of the third quarter, and the swamp, and you really watch it. And then they really did a good job on DJ Lagway and Coach Napier, and of course, we're pulling for him big time. But then I'm really close to Brandon Spikes, really close to some people in that building. And the word on the street is that this is, I think people don't quite completely understand that you don't have a really good program until in practice you have really good players going against each other. And the comment made to me recently was this resembles the teams we had, because I remember Bill Belichick one time, I stopped practice because it was inside drill and I had the Pouncies and Tebow going against, the defense Spikes and Dunlap and all those, and they'd like to kill each other. And I stopped practice. I said, we're not doing it because someone's going to get hurt. But that's how as an athlete, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. There's no such thing as staying the same. And going against average to below average players in practice, you're getting worse because what you're going to get, you're going to reach a LSU player or a Alabama player, and you're going to be like, I'm not used to this. And so that's when you got to, and that's the reason I bring that up, Steve. I hear that's what's happened at Florida in the last 12 months is when you go out to practice, there's good players on both sides of the ball, and there's some depth, and that means everyone's getting better that day.
I want to ask about Penn State. He's done a great job there, but something has eluded him, and the fan base knows it. Coach knows it. Could this be their year? What do you think of Penn State?
Well, they're following the pattern that the Wolverines and the Buckeyes did, and that was that it's a veteran team that they all came back. They came back on a mission. The Wolverines were the first one in my lifetime that I saw because most coaches never got to coach seniors. I never really got to coach a senior. Very rarely does a senior come back. They would leave for the NFL. NIL has made it possible now for these players. That's one of the positives of NIL, that you see this leader, this veteran team. And there is a gigantic difference between coaching a 17, 18-year-old compared to a grown man that's a senior. And that's what I see with Penn State. I see I can't believe both those running backs came back. They're returning quarterback. The question on Penn State, and it's been that way a couple of years, is the outside positions, the receiver positions. Are they built for that kind of run? Last year they were not. They had the best tight end in the country, and they had some other great players. But for them to win it, they'd have to get much better at receiver.
Urban Meyer joining us here. He'll be on Big Noon Kickoff again on Fox as the season is just around the corner. Interested in your take on Mullen at UNLV. Do you think he'll be successful there?
Well, I'm very biased.
Yes.
I think Dan Mullen's one of the best coaches I've ever been around. We were together I think it was 10 years, someone told me, and I just my respect I have for Dan Mullen, Megan. He did an incredible job of Florida till right near the end. I thought Florida was back. When they got Dan, and then they were quite literally a shoelace away from greatness. I think Dan Mullen will be really successful at UNLV.
Last couple of things here. The committee looks like they're starting to understand some things. It baffles me that they can't come up with some kind of system here, the number of teams involved, et cetera. As a coach, Urban, there's talk about maybe eliminating conference championship games, what the Big Ten wants. Any thoughts on all of that? I mean, are they going to come up with something that everybody can understand and the process for getting teams in there?
Well, I'm a big fan of the Big Ten put one out. I think that might be off the table now, but I think the search committee's got to go away. And there's only one way to do that, have play-in games. Plus, it keeps everybody alive. The one that was out there was 4-4-2-2-1, 4 from the Big Ten, 4 from the SEC. And the top 6 teams of those conferences were still alive. So, for example, 1 played 2, 3 played 5, and 4 played 6. And then those 4, the winners would go into the playoffs. Then the same with the SEC. There was no committee picking them. That's always bothered me is that, wait a minute, and I'm not picking on the committee. If I was on the committee, I'm wrong half the time. That's a failed system. So if there's any way to come up with a play-in system, that there's no, the group of people sitting in a hotel room, I'm picking who's playing, the most important people in the game are making that decision, the players. If we win, we're in. If we lose, we're out.
Great stuff. Urban, I appreciate you always, and congratulations. And look, selfishly, I'm glad you're coming here. You should be honored. Shelley's right. And we'll talk to you way.
Right.
yeah. And we'll talk to you way before you get here. But thanks for taking the time.
Thanks, Steve.
You got it, Urban. Urban Meyer joining us here on the program. Now, next hour, don't forget, we got a good hour coming up for you. Kyle Crooks is going to join us, the former Gator play-by-play broadcaster for women's basketball, softball, et cetera. He's now at Nebraska. And R.J. Fuhr is over at Oakhall. He's back after a year being away. He'll talk about his football team. And tomorrow, if everything goes right, Herm Edwards, the coach from ESPN, is going to join us. And one of my former students, Jonathan Acosta. Josh Allen, the Bills quarterback, is not playing a down of preseason football. He is not playing at all, and he's not hurt. How about that? And I wonder if this is a harbinger of things to come. Obviously, look, he's coming off a year, and I wonder what players think of this, right? I mean, they want to play, but I get it, right? If you're playing a meaningless preseason game, how about the Jets and Aaron Rodgers last year? Hello, right? So I get it, and I wonder as a pro quarterback, especially one like him or Aaron Rodgers, do you need to play in the preseason? So I really do think this is going to be something we're going to see more and more of. because, look, I don't even know who Buffalo's backup quarterback is, but for damn sure he ain't as good as Josh Allen. And you don't want to lose a franchise quarterback in a meaningless preseason game. So I really think there's going to be a lot more of this when it comes to, playing in the preseason or not playing in the preseason. Also, next hour, Chris Canty from ESPN talked about coaches on the hot seat. And you're going to hear him give you who the coaches are who he thinks are on the hot seat. That's going to be coming up in the next hour as well. And if you're just tuning in, that's one of my questions. Do you think, because by what I've conjured up here, I don't hear anybody from Gator Nation saying he's on the hot seat, which is a stunning turnaround from a year ago. But look, I get it. They're ranked. They're doing well in recruiting, but now you got to win games. But anyway, you'll hear him. And again, our guest coming up as well. This hour, our thanks to Urban Meyer for being here. Mark Whittemore, the Buchholz football coach, also joining us. And we appreciate you joining us here as we broadcast from the Gator Trim Light Studio. And we want you back for hour number 2. Again, thank you for the calls, the emails about coming back. It is really, really appreciated. And come back and join us for hour 2 as you listen on WRUF, powered by ESPN.
Your home for Sunday Night Football, all season long. WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Spurrier's Gridiron Grill is a special type of place for Gator fans and fans of great food, which is why we've made every day special. Join us on Martini Tuesdays for half off our handcrafted martinis, and Wine Wednesdays, where you can enjoy a bottle of wine for 50% off. On Old Fashioned Thursdays, indulge in our selection of 8 classic old-fashioned cocktails. And of course, don't forget Sunday brunch. And now you can look special in some of our great merchandise available at the restaurant or online at Spurriers.com. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, the hottest restaurant in Florida in the heart of Gator Nation.
Hi, I'm Coach Steve Spurrier, and I am a member of the Campus USA Credit Union. The Gator Nation has been counting on Campus USA Credit Union for over 80 years. Campus supports the Gators and our community. Campus membership is open to all UF students, faculty, staff, and alumni. Come see why over 100,000 members, like me, count on Campus USA Credit Union. So put some star power to work in your financial life. Visit campuscu.com and join today.
For over 2 decades, Miapa has been a staple in Alachua County. Start your day right at Miapa, where fast and affordable authentic cuisine awaits.
We're known for serving the best Cuban coffee.
Our secret is in every sip and every bite, bringing the flavor of our culture straight to your palate. Everyone is welcome at Miapa Latin Cafe. Visit us at one of our locations and let us take you on a journey full of flavor. Miapa Latin Cafe, where every bite is a taste of tradition.
Transform your home with Gator Trim Lights. Professionally installed, permanent outdoor lighting that disappears by day and dazzles by night. Our patented color-matched channel blends seamlessly with your roofline. No clips, no wires, just a clean, custom look. Use the easy app to light up the holidays, birthdays, game days, any day. Energy efficient, built to last, and backed by a lifetime product warranty. Schedule your free estimate today at GatorTrimLight.com.
At Comfort Temp Heating and Air, we're proud to celebrate 40 years as your #1 local HVAC company. We offer energy-efficient solutions featuring quality products from Lennox. Whether it's new installation, system repairs, or routine maintenance, we promise to never sell you anything you don't need. Our professional and experienced technicians provide reliable service you can trust and will keep you informed throughout the entire process. At Comfort Temp, comfort is our business. Peace of mind is our promise.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. He's back! The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer again with you.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is presented by International Diamond Center and brought to you in part by
Meldon Law, Gator Trim Lights, Fairlife Mills, Titan MRI Imaging, QC Kinetics, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Quality Plumbing, Campus USA Credit Union, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
You know, being of Italian heritage, not all, my mom's side is, but I was raised to that. I can't tell you how many of us, when The Godfather came out, tried to imitate Marlon Brando. I'll make him an offer he can't refuse. Right? I mean, not bad, right? Right, Jessica? Not bad. Thank you very much. But, I mean, we'd walk around, right, and go, oh, I'll make him an offer he can't refuse. I mean, we would do that all day because that's how iconic that was. And the only other movie that it had an effect on me was The Exorcist. And even though, and here's why. Yes, here's why. I went to see it with some Gator baseball players because I was doing baseball games back then as a student. And we went to see it. And even though I read that, you know, she was throwing up pea soup, you know, all of that, right? It's the only movie, and I'm not ashamed to say this, it's the only movie that I went home and slept with the lights on. I did. That was unbelievable. So The Godfather and The Exorcist were the two that really moved the needle. I mean, many, many more too, but just those come to mind. Anyway, I digress. Welcome into hour 2 of Sports Scene. Jessica is our producer today, and we would like you to participate here and call us at the top of the show as we broadcast from the Gator Trim Light Studio, and we appreciate them, and we appreciate all of our sponsors being here. By the way, if you want to become a sponsor, you can do so. Just call Freddie, and he will take care of it. 352-284-3733. We would love to have you. And don't forget, you can check out our daily clip of the day on WRUF, Facebook, and YouTube at WRUF Home of the Gators, brought to you by our friends at Fairlife Milk. And you can check us out on the WRUF app, Facebook, and YouTube at WRUF Home of the Gators. Okay, Chris Canty, who does the ESPN morning show, talked about the college coaches that he thought were on the hot seat. Take a listen.
Number 4.
Billy Napier at Florida. AD Scott Strickland has shown some patience with Napier, something that seldom happens in Gainesville with his football coaches, whether it's Dan Mullen, Jim McElwain, or Ron Zook. Napier started 11-14 his first 2 years after an impressive run at Louisiana and got off to a shaky start in 2024. The Gators got thumped at home by Miami in the opener and then lost by 2 touchdowns at home against Texas A&M. At 4-5, the team made the switch to DJ Lagway and ended the season on a 4-game winning streak, including wins over number 22 ranked LSU and number 9 ranked Ole Miss, finishing with the best record in Billy Napier's tenure. With one of the most talented quarterbacks in the country and the number 16 preseason ranking, Napier will have to exceed last year's win total in order to keep the gig going into 2026. Easier said than done with the schedule that features 7 ranked opponents, including 4 in the top 10 and 3 of those opponents in successive weeks.
Okay, so Billy Napier is number 4 on that list. Others were Mike Gundy, Lincoln Riley. Number 1 on his list, by the way, was Brent Venables from Oklahoma. So you agree with that? I'll tell you what, it seems like Gator Nation has, at least for a little while, they're satisfied. But remember, next weekend begins the next journey, and we will see. Okay. Let's hear from you. That's why I came back. This is your forum, so let's hear it. And if you don't want to talk about that, anything else you want to bring up, please do. It's baseball, NFL, whatever. The Titan MRI and Imaging phone line number, 392-8255. And again, that's brought to you by Titan MRI and Imaging, now with 3 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City to serve you better. You can also contact us via Facebook and YouTube. Facebook questions brought to you by Ruse Ogra State Farm. State Farm agent Ruse Ogra is your go-to agent in Gainesville and North Central Florida for the service you deserve at the price you want. YouTube questions brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union, where Coach Spurrier banks. Campus USA, founded at the University of Florida, serving our Gator community for 90 years. Email, well, that's easy. srussell@wruf.com. They're brought to you by International Diamond Center. Don't settle for a knockoff diamond when you can get the best diamonds at the best prices for quality, selection, and value. International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. And remember, our clip of the day here on WRUF Facebook and YouTube at WRUF Home of the Gators, brought to you by our friends at Fairlife Milk. All of our guests, courtesy of Meldon Law, the only injury law firm partner of the Florida Gators. I want to thank Quality Plumbing for sponsoring our first hour. If you need a quality plumber, rely on the same company Gainesville's trusted since 1984. And sponsoring this hour, QC Kinetics. If you have joint pain that won't go away, check out QC Kinetics for long-lasting relief. Patrick says his movie was Silence of the Lambs. Yeah. Now, I would have gone to sleep with the lights off with that, but I get it, Patrick. No question. Okay. A YouTube question from Michael. I think 11-1 with Lagway, I think is what Michael is saying. Wow. That's probably the most ambitious record that I've seen for somebody on the season. And that's great. I don't know, that with that schedule, if Florida goes 11-1 against that schedule, Billy Napier will be the SEC Coach of the Year, and he may be in the running for National Coach of the Year, if that's what happens, given the schedule and all of that. All right, Kyle Crooks joins us bottom of the hour. R.J. Fuhr, the Oakhall coach, joins us in about half an hour or so. But for now, questions, calls, comments, emails, etc. We start with John. Hi, John. John, go ahead.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Hey, I was going to mainly calling to tell you, glad you're back on the air. You kind of make the midday once again for working people to kind of get through and listen to you talk about sports.
Well, like I said at the top of the hour, it's been a very humbling experience to have so many people reach out and give well wishes and say they're happy to have the show back. And it's when you're away from it, you appreciate it a little bit more. At least I did. The fact that I'd done it and made so many friends and got to know so many athletes and coaches, and wasn't quite ready to give it up yet. It's going to be a year-to-year proposition and see where it goes. But really happy to be back in the chair, and I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, well, like that, and you come back at the best time of the year right here for the start of football season. And a question for you. Sure. I know you kind of listen to what all's going on at practice and all that. Who are a few of the true? I know we get coach talk leading up about the young guys, and they always this one's going to contribute, this one will. But then when the season starts, you rarely ever see them. But who are a few of the names that are the true freshmen that you think we're going to really stand a good chance we're really going to see quite a bit this upcoming season? And I'll let you answer and listen off there. Okay, thank you, John. I'm not avoiding the question, John, because I have talked to Coach Napier. I have talked to some staff people. But I want to wait and see with that because they've not released it too deep yet, and they won't till next week. And for those who don't know, we just don't get to see a lot of practice. We just don't. And because of that, you almost have to rely on, who you talk to and whatnot. So, again, I'm not
avoiding it, but I just want to see, what happens here when the 2 deep comes out. Because, look, there's going to be some freshmen who play. There's no question of that. I don't know that there'll be a lot of them because, again, I think this is a pretty, this is a team now that, for the first time, has some depth, has some quality depth to it. Let's get YouTube question brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Perry says, hope the Gators can go 9-3. I'm a huge fan of Billy's. Would love for good guys to finish first. Richard says, as far as Napier goes, he needs to show me he can effectively play call in critical situations. I hear that a lot, Richard, and I wonder what that means. I mean, I get the point, but like in critical situations, what's a critical situation? Okay, it's 24-20. It's 3rd and 4 from the opposition's 40, and there's 1:30 to go. Critical play. If that's what you're saying, I get it. Joy says, huge Gator fan. Great to hear you back. Thank you, Joy. I am, again, very appreciative of that. And back to the thing about play calling. I think that goes for a middle school play caller, a high school play caller, a college play caller, NFL play caller, right? I mean, 3rd down efficiency. And here's the other thing. You can have the right play call called, but it doesn't get blocked. So the play blows up. That was a terrible call. No, it wasn't. It was the right call, but the play wasn't blocked. Or the receiver ran the wrong route. The play call wasn't bad. The receiver didn't run the right route. So part of that, I get the point and I don't disagree with it, but I think sometimes when people say that, all the facts aren't known about why a particular play call doesn't work. We'll come back, take more of your calls, questions, comments, as you listen to Sports Scene on WRUF, powered by ESPN.
WRUF,
where Gator Nation comes alive.
98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Powered by ESPN.
WRUF, your home for Gator sports.
Transform your home with Gator trim lights. Professionally installed, permanent outdoor lighting that disappears by day and dazzles by night. Our patented color-matched channel blends seamlessly with your roofline. No clips, no wires, just a clean, custom look. Use the Easy app to light up the holidays, birthdays, game days, any day. Energy efficient, built to last, and backed by a lifetime product warranty. Schedule your free estimate today at GatorTrimLight.com.
The most important thing I learned from my father was work ethic and integrity. Never veer away from integrity, even if it costs you money.
International Diamond Center owner Keith LeClaire.
The core value for IDC is to protect the customer.
That means offering the largest selection, uncompromising quality, the strongest warranties, and honest guidance from experts who are not paid on commission. International Diamond Center at Celebration Point. Online, shopidc.com.
Titan MRI, North Central Florida's premier independent diagnostic testing MRI facility. At Titan MRI, we're focused on you, the patient, having a great customer experience. Our MRI equipment is modern and 75% quieter than any unit in its class. And our MRI unit has one of the largest openings of any of the newer high-strength MRI units, which allows comfortable scanning for potential claustrophobic and larger patients. At Titan MRI, we look forward to serving you.
When the unexpected happens, you need a legal team that's ready to fight for you, just like the Florida Gators. At Meldon Law, we're proud to partner with the Florida Gators to deliver winning results for those who have been injured at no fault of their own. With a strong record of success and a team that won't back down, Meldon Law is your trusted partner in tough times. Call Meldon Law at 352-373-8000 or visit us at meldonlaw.com.
Hi, I'm Coach Steve Spurrier, and I am a member of the Campus USA Credit Union. The Gator Nation has been counting on Campus USA Credit Union for over 80 years. Campus supports the Gators and our community. Campus membership is open to all UF students, faculty, staff, and alumni. Come see why over 100,000 members, like me, count on Campus USA Credit Union. So put some star power to work in your financial life. Visit campuscu.com and join today.
He's got the 1966 Heisman Trophy, the 1996 National Championship Trophy, and 7 SEC trophies. Now he's got a new trophy, a can of beer. Steve Spurrier was the head ball coach. Now you can call him the head beer coach. Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager is available in 16-ounce cans at Gator games and stores all across Gainesville. You can also get it in the can or on draft at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Refreshing in all kinds of weather, Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager, a legend in a can.
The biggest names in Gator Nation appear here. WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF.
Welcome back to Sports Scene as we broadcast live from the Gator Trim Light Studio. And of course, this hour also brought to you by QC Kinetics. We appreciate QC Kinetics sponsoring us in this second hour as well. Before we get Kyle Crooks here in about 10 minutes or so, still plenty of time to hear from you. 392-8255. You can email srussell@wruf.com. Don't forget, tomorrow, if all goes according to Hoyle, Herm Edwards, the coach from ESPN, will talk a little National Football League. Jonathan Acosta, I did not know this was going to happen. Jonathan's working up in Buffalo, and Josh Allen not playing any preseason games at all for the Bills. He'll be with us tomorrow, and we're going to talk to Pro Football Focus as well and talk a little college football. James says, welcome back, Steve. What are your thoughts on Dan Mullen? In 3 years, do you think he is A, still at UNLV, B, back in the broadcast booth, or C, head coach at a major program? Great question, James. I get the feeling he'll still be at UNLV in 3 years. Now, remember, when Barry Odom was there, they did pretty well, okay? And he's hit the portal really hard. I must tell you, I'm friends with Coach Mullen. He's been on the show many times, but I could not get him on here. He was just swamped, and hopefully sometime during the year, we can. But it will be interesting to see what he does over there. But it's a great place to recruit to, obviously. So we'll see. But no, I think in 3 years, he's still there. Ben Shelton, U.S. Open. He is a 6 seed there. We wish him well. He is exciting to watch, and, he's done really well. I don't know if you saw this. And this kind of tells you maybe where Florida is. How many times, if you've heard me speak of this, I have said, and one of the reasons why Florida's not been very good, go look and see how many Gator players are on the all-league team. And in the past few years, there haven't been many. Guess how many are on the coach's preseason all-SEC team this year? 8. That's the highest number in a long time. So that tells you that somebody thinks, the coaches think, there's some talent on this team. Let me tell you who they are. Jake Slaughter, first team honors. Austin Barber, first team honors. Both in the offensive line. That might be the best unit on the team. Might be, if they stay healthy. Okay? Caleb Banks, Trey Smack, Rocco Underwood, second team, and DJ Lagway, Trey Wilson, and Tyreek Sapp on the third team. Now, think of that with Lagway. He had 12 touchdown passes, 9 interceptions last year. And he's on the third team. So that tells you what people think of the possibility of what he can do. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. All right. Let's get some YouTube questions. And again, we love hearing from you on Facebook and YouTube. And we're going to get, I think, Lee, and don't forget our YouTube is brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Zook was on a podcast yesterday and said if he hadn't gotten popped in midseason of 2004, he and UF would have become Alabama, even though UF and Urban did kind of anyway. And he says 10-2 is the max ceiling for me with the schedule. I like Zucker a lot. And I think we can go back and look in history and say, was the trigger pulled on him too early? Maybe. But when there's noise in the system, as he liked to say, sometimes you can look back and say, well, the next guy had his talent and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's part of it, isn't it? When you have to make the most of the talent you have. And that didn't happen. There were bright spots, certainly, but it didn't happen. Now, I will say this. His players loved him. Loved him. They played their rear ends off for Zucker. But I don't know about that statement. Peyton, since we're close to football season, one random summertime question. What's your favorite stadium you've been to that no longer stands? Wow, I'd have to think about that, Peyton. That no longer stands. Wow. I'd have to think about that. I don't have that top of my head. Great question, though. I'm going to keep this so I can ponder it and maybe give you an answer tomorrow. David says, we have the weather person you had on last year prior to home game. She was great, and you had chemistry with her. That's Megan Borowski. And yes, I hope, because Megan and I get along great and did a great job, and we hope to have her back. Yes, David. In my never-ending effort to keep you informed of weather conditions prior to a game, even if it's on the road, because some people obviously want to know what the weather's going to be if they're going on a road trip. So, yes. We are going to endeavor to do that. We got about, 2-3 more minutes left until we get Kyle Crooks here. So you want to get a quick call in, 392-8255, the International Diamond Center email, srussell@wruf.com. And again, I want to thank QC Kinetics for sponsoring us here in the second hour. If you have joint pain and won't go away, check out QC Kinetics for long-lasting relief. All right, 2 more emails. Perfect timing. Bill says, did you give your prediction on the Gator football win total? Yeah, yesterday I think it was. The days are running into one another now. But I think Florida's ceiling, given the schedule, is 9-3. But here's a big asterisk, right? What if DJ Lagway isn't there? What if Arch Manning's hurt? What if Garrett Nussmeier's hurt when Florida plays these teams? So that's all of this is predicated on everybody being healthy. Well, that doesn't work that way. It never is that way, right? But I get it. That's what you have to work with in terms of the time of the year. But that prediction could change like that for anybody, depending on, who's injured and that sort of thing. But that was mine. And then Kendall says, Steve, glad to have you back on the air. Missed you. Will you be doing, 2 questions, will you be doing the post-game show? Yes. Back on the Extra Point post-game show? Yes. And 2, Kendall wants to know, did you create those? Yes, I did. When I first came here, we didn't have a pregame show of any substance, and didn't have a postgame show at all. What I initially wanted to do was actually have it right after the game. But we are contracted, obligated to bring the Gator Network postgame show to you, which is great. Just like we are contracted to bring the Gator Network preseason or pregame show. So the next best thing was after the game. And hard to believe that was all those years ago, the George Harrison song. But yeah, it was. But yes, to answer the question, back doing that and looking forward to doing that. All right. If all goes well, my good friend Kyle Crooks is going to join us to talk about his journey from Florida, doing play-by-play, to now being the play-by-play voice of Nebraska. He'll be joining us on the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line next as you listen to Sports Scene on WRUF, powered by ESPN.
Your home for Monday Night Football. WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
I'm tired of you living in pain, and I want you to get real lasting relief from chronic pain in your knees, back, shoulders, and hips. QC Kinetics can get you moving again with cutting-edge regenerative treatments with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Stop putting it off. Call now and schedule your free consultation. Call QC Kinetics now in Gainesville, Ocala, and the Villages. 352-400-4550. 352-400-4550.
We all expect quality in our service providers. The word itself means the degree of excellence of something. Now throw in the word plumbing after that, and it would mean the excellence of plumbing. And that's exactly what our community has been getting for 4 decades from the fine folks at Quality Plumbing. Now you can always spend time and money trying to fix things yourself, or you can call the professionals at Quality Plumbing and get it done right the first time. Quality Plumbing since 1984. Their name says it all. License number CFC 043073.
For over 2 decades, Miapa has been a staple in Alachua County. Start your day right at Miapa, where fast and affordable authentic cuisine awaits.
We're known for serving the best Cuban coffee.
Our secret is in every sip and every bite, bringing the flavor of our culture straight to your palate. Everyone is welcome at Miapa Latin Cafe. Visit us at one of our locations and let us take you on a journey full of flavor. Miapa Latin Cafe, where every bite is a taste of tradition.
You might know that State Farm agent Ruz Agra has great service. He's your good neighbor after all, but did you know that State Farm has surprisingly good rates too? Yep, that's right. Along with good neighbor service, State Farm agent Ruz Agra has surprisingly great rates for everyone in Gainesville and North Central Florida. So call State Farm agent Ruz Agra at 352-240-1779 for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
When you're ready to take that much-deserved vacation, Radiant Credit Union is ready too. Our low-rate personal loans can set you on a path to sunny beaches, snowy mountains, or the classic American road trip. All you need to do is plan your getaway, minus the financial baggage. Relax and enjoy without high-interest worrying. A low-rate personal loan from Radiant can be a great solution for travel, education, debt consolidation, or whatever you may need. So when you're ready, let's get started. Visit radiantcu.org and apply today. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Every Gator football game all season long, right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. All of our guests on the show brought to you by Meldon Law. And now we're going to hit the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line to bring in an old friend who I'm really happy for. It was sad to see Kyle Crooks leave because Kyle and I became friends and we broadcast games together, and he did a great job here at Florida. But now he's the man at Nebraska, and that's where he is. So Kyle now joins us. Good to have you, buddy. Welcome in. And I've told you this in a text, but congratulations to you. But let folks know, how did this all come about? How did this happen for you?
Yeah, Steve, it's great to talk to you, and it's weird not coming on and talking about a Florida softball game or a Florida men's basketball or women's basketball game. So that's a little surreal. I've been wearing new colors, but I applied for this job probably during softball season, and the process moved. Yeah, most of these move pretty slow. I mean, they take a couple months to come about. So interviewed the first time, and you don't really think much of it. Then you interview a second time, then you start to lean in a little bit more, and then you get the call that, hey, we want you to come down to campus. So this was, I'd say, after the College World Series, the Women's College World Series. I flew down to Lincoln. I interviewed here. I met with the athletic director in Troy Dannon, and it just felt like the right fit. I mean, and you know this, Steve, like the amount of work that went into getting football reps and getting reps on some of the men's sports and, some of the sports that I wasn't necessarily contracted to do at Florida. That was important to me. And for your listeners that don't know what Steve had meant in my career. So the last, I'd done demo football games, so mock football games, right, to get taped. All 8 years I was at Florida. In the last 2 or 3, Steve would sit in and be my analyst. So all the tape that Nebraska fans, Steve, have listened to over the last couple of weeks, they have like 10,000 views. It's me and Steve calling the game. But Steve sacrificed so much time over the last couple of years to make sure that I had the tape and that I was ready. And all I had to do was send a text, and Steve was going to be there to help me out. So I owe a debt of gratitude for you, and it's a big reason why I was able to shine through in the process.
I appreciate that, Kyle, you saying that. But, somebody that has become a friend and somebody who has talent, and that talent's now being rewarded. Your impressions of Nebraska early on?
Yeah, I think so. It's interesting, Steve. This program, so it's in year 3 of Matt Rule. We have our first coaches show tonight, and a lot of people have this program as the sleeper in the Big Ten. I've seen some prominent media members put Nebraska in the college football playoff conversation, and I think it's real and it's legit. We know the history of Nebraska, and I've gotten a chance to learn more and more about it over the last month or so, and what they were under Tom Osborne, especially in the 90s, but even the solid years they had under Bo Pelini. But it's been a bit here. It's been about 10 years of them trying to get back to national relevance, and it just feels like being out at every single practice, interacting with Matt Rule at Big Ten Media Days. They have the right leader here. And what are 2 things that you look for in a successful college football program, really a program at any level of football? It's the coach and the quarterback. And I truly believe they have the coach who, this is the year 3 for Matt Rule at Temple, at Baylor. He made a massive leap. And I think that's why everybody's high on this team. You look at them at practice. They are Big Ten, big and strong on the offensive and defensive lines. You have the quarterback. They went and they really were able to add key pieces to skill position spots. Dean Key, who's a name that and some fans would know in your audience, transfer from Kentucky, is going to be their number 1 target. They have a legit running back in Emmett Johnson, and I think that's the biggest area where defensively they're in a really good spot, and they have been since Matt Rule has been here. They're a top 20 defense. I think they'll probably hover somewhere in that area, although they had to replace a lot of their front 7. It's where can the offense take that next jump, and I think Coach Rule has recruited, and not just in the portal, but there's going to be some true freshman guys that are going to make some impact, and I think they're ready to take a massive leap this year.
Matt Rule has always been an interesting dude to me. What kind of a guy is he?
Yeah, he's unique. So he just announced, Steve, his podcast that I mentioned the first coaches show tonight, but he has his own podcast that I'm not sure if it's going to be weekly or a bi-weekly thing, but he's going to sort of take people inside what Nebraska football is like. He loves the behind-the-scenes aspect of programs. He's talked about, I love watching Hard Knocks and NFL films, and he's been pretty open about his coaching career. He's been in a lot of spots as a position coach, but he had success at Temple. He had success at Baylor. And then he faced that first dose of reality of what this coaching profession could be in terms of, what happened in the NFL as a head coach of the Carolina Panthers. He, was 11-27, got fired, and, he had to sort of readjust and see what that next step was going to be. And, when he was in the process of being a candidate when Scott Frost got let go here at Nebraska, he wasn't sure if it would be the right fit right away, but he had the opportunity to be here, and you could just sense he's all in on embracing the history, but that now it's time to create that new history. He's all in on always being about the brand of Nebraska, and he's a player's coach a little bit more now. I think as time has gone, he's learned how to coach in this new day and age of NIL and rev share and be one with the players, but also have that good balance. And he's got a really good staff around him, Steve. His offensive coordinator is Dana Holgerson, who was a head coach at Houston and West Virginia, and they he took over the play calling duties over the last 4 games, and that's why I feel like this offense is going to take a big jump. He understands what this market is about, what this fan base is about, and to put great coaches around him, and he's done that.
Kyle Crooks, our guest here on Sports Scene, as Kyle's become the new play-by-play voice of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. How is that? I've never been to the football stadium there, but, iconic, and that place is always sold out. You can't ever talk about Nebraska's loyalty with their fan base because they pack that place all the time. From a facility standpoint, what have you seen so far, Kyle?
It's incredible, Steve. It's some of the best I've ever seen. So they have a training table that I believe we're allowed to eat in on a daily basis. It has the freshest seafood you can find, steak, salmon.
Wow.
I mean, and the facilities, the indoor, the weight rooms, everything around. It's the Hawks Center where football is based out of. It's state of the art. It's the best in the country. So to me, that's incredibly unique. And you talk about the passion of the fans. So there's signage inside Memorial Stadium, 403 consecutive sellouts, an NCAA record which dates back to the 1960s. So, I mentioned those 10 years where things have been down a little bit for Nebraska football, but that has not changed the fact that every seat is full. Season tickets are always in demand, and that just shows you the passion of Nebraska football here. It doesn't matter what maybe the scoreboard has said or what the matchup is that day. It could be against an FCS team. Man, these fans, they show up every single week.
I'm asking this for my own information. What are the sports you're going to be doing as far as broadcasting?
So right now it's football, and I'm going to be. So I'm the director of broadcasting here, and I host. I'm taking from the book of Steve Russell. I'm hosting a weeknight talk show.
Atta baby.
Sports Nightly. Yeah, I know, right?
Atta baby.
And I learned from the best here, listening to the Dean of Sports Talk every single day, driving around in Gainesville. But I'm going to be hosting a weeknight show, about a 2-hour show with co-host Jessica Cootie, who's our sideline reporter, as well, doing the games with a 2-time national champion in the 90s, a running back, and Damon Benning, but also be doing some baseball as well. And some of the duties will change as we go. But, right now it's going to be football, the talk show, some baseball in the spring. And I'm just excited to kick this thing off and get back to calling some games here coming up in, exactly a week here.
What have you seen so far as the city of Lincoln is concerned?
It's a lot like Gainesville, I would say. So I'm living in the downtown area. It's called the Haymarket. I have the basketball arena, which Florida Volleyball is actually flying down here right now.
Sir.
Play opening weekend, and it's a 15,000-seat arena that they're playing in. It's not necessarily where volleyball usually plays their matches, but they're playing this opening weekend in this basketball arena. But it's college crazed. Everything revolves around this brand and these athletics teams, and it's really fun area. There's a lot of bars, a lot of restaurants, and you can walk to a lot of things. So it's a really cool area. It kind of reminds me of a Midtown area in Gainesville where I'm at right now, but also there's different. It's pretty spaced out as well. You can go to more suburban areas where it's a little bit more spaced out in Lincoln, but I'm more in the hustle and the bustle of Lincoln right now.
Last thing, have you seen much of the campus? And then I hope you bought some heavy jackets.
Yeah. So as you know, I've been wearing one color for a long time now, so I had to adjust the wardrobe. They're an Adidas school here in Nebraska, so I traded in all my Jordan stuff, Steve, and now I'm wearing nothing but red and white Adidas.
Yeah.
I got heavy jackets they're sending me, so it's. With the wind is different here, Steve. It's a windy place, so it plays tricks, especially in Memorial Stadium. If you think about, a comp I would make, the old Giant Stadium, the way the wind swirls here at Memorial. So it's especially in November and, early December, like the wind really whips around here. So I've had the chance to walk around campus as well, Student Union, just beautiful. It's a beautiful campus, but I would imagine once we hit October, I'm going to probably be staying indoors out of the cold, but I'll say this. I'm happy to have a fall season. I've not had a fall season where I could see the leaves change in quite some time.
You got a couple of emails here that both are saying, Kyle, congratulations on the new gig. Gators are excited for you, and obviously I share that, Kyle. I'll miss, seeing you and doing games with you, but this is a great thing for you. You worked hard for it. You deserve it. So congratulations on doing this, and, we'll stay in touch and get you back, and let's hope the Huskers have a good year.
Yeah, I'm hoping for it, and I'm going to be listening a lot, Steve. You can't get rid of me that quick, and if you ever need somebody to hop on, talk some Big Ten. And like I said at the start of this, you are those that don't know, will we be sitting in the corner of the O-Dome calling a mock men's basketball game or on press row calling football? Like you've done a lot for me to have the tape to get ready for this job. So people don't know that, and I want to make it known on the radio that Steve Russell is a big reason why I got a chance to take a big jump in my career. And boy, I'm grateful for every second and every game I called with the Gators.
Well, and you earned it, Kyle. So congratulations to you. We'll stay in touch. We'll get you back. Good luck, man.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate you anytime.
Okay, Kyle. Kyle Crooks, obviously class young man, but he really deserves this. He's worked hard. He paid his dues here, and now he gets to be the man going at Nebraska, and that's really good for him. Okay, got a couple of, let's see, we got, is this, I'm not sure which one's this, Facebook. I can't even read. The later the day in the show, my brain. Anyway, Facebook Live brought to you by Ruse Ogra. Art says, we have a 50-pound advantage on both lines of scrimmage in the first game. Should not be stopped on any play. You agree? No. I mean, any play? But I get it. Yes. I mean, in theory, yes. In most cases, yes. Perry says it's also about talent on par with the rest of the SEC. Billy will have that for the first time this year, be more aggressive. And Jane says, do you think with the Gator football schedule, will the wins be back-to-back or scattered? If they're back-to-back, they're going to have a great year. A great year. It's that gamut of games, Miami, Texas, A&M, and whoever else it is, that could make if Florida's going to be successful, you cannot lose to Ole Miss. You can't lose to Mississippi. You got to beat those teams and hope you knock off 2 or 3 of the big boys. If you do that, Jane, I think you got a really, really good chance. All right, we're going to end our show today talking some high school football. R.J. Fuhr is back at Oakhall. We'll talk to him about his team next as you listen to Sports Scene on WRUF, powered by ESPN.
Your home for Monday Night Football, WRUF.
The best conversations happen with Los Linderos Tequila, like this recent conversation between 2 Gator legends.
Coach, it always impressed me how you beat Florida State to win the 1996 National Championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spur's Gridiron Grill. 100% agave, Los Linderos Tequila. Aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
Silverback Concrete is a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists that builds commercial structures for contractors who expect unrivaled quality, including the head ball coach's restaurant, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. You only have one chance to make a building that holds up to the highest standards through all kinds of weather. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to see why they're the #1 choice in the Southeast. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete's got your back.
At Comfort Temp Heating and Air, we're proud to celebrate 40 years as your #1 local HVAC company. We offer energy-efficient solutions featuring quality products from Lennox. Whether it's new installation, system repairs, or routine maintenance, we promise to never sell you anything you don't need. Our professional and experienced technicians provide reliable service you can trust and will keep you informed throughout the entire process. At Comfort Temp, comfort is our business. Peace of mind is our promise.
Hey Gators, are you ready to rep your team in style? Head over to Alma Mater, the ultimate Florida Gator store right here in Gainesville, where you'll find everything you need to show off your Gator pride. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, we've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan. Whether you're gearing up for game day or just want to add some orange and blue to your wardrobe, we've got you covered. Everything designed and produced right here in the swamp. Visit us today at Alma Mater on the corner of 34th and University or almamaterdesign.com. Go Gators!
The most important thing I learned from my father was work ethic and integrity. Never veer away from integrity, even if it costs you money.
International Diamond Center owner Keith LeClaire.
The core value for IDC is to protect the customer.
That means offering the largest selection, uncompromising quality, the strongest warranties, and honest guidance from experts who are not paid on commission. International Diamond Center at Celebration Point. Online, shopidc.com.
This football season, Hurricane BTW was your game day getaway. Catch every play with an ice-cold Bud Light in hand. Pair it with fan favorites like our wings and apps while you catch every touchdown, tackle, and highlight. Our Bud Light specials are here all season long on Hurricane BTW, so bring the crew and make it a game day tradition. Visit hurricanewings.com to find a restaurant near you.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
We've got warm and muggy conditions to start off this Thursday morning. Skies mostly clear. We'll have winds from the west this afternoon, occasionally gusting to about 15 miles an hour. Feeling hot and sticky, temperatures in the mid-90s, about 95. Your forecasted high for Gainesville. Heat index values near 105. And our sea breeze showers and thunderstorms should get kicked up near the Gulf Coast. They'll move inland and eastward through the evening. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
The biggest names in Gator Nation appear here. WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF.
Really appreciate, this is a new era, obviously, and really appreciate those who give questions on Facebook, those brought to you by Ruse-Ogre State Farm, and YouTube, those brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Really appreciate that, and we like hearing from you in any way, shape, or form that we can. To the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line now, we're going to talk to R.J. Fuhr, the head football coach at Oakhall, as his season's about to open up, as this is the first weekend of high school football. R.J., you and I have something in common, my friend. We came back.
Yes, sir. Yes, it's good to be back.
Yeah.
Good to be back. Good to have you back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's something in common we have here. We're both back. What made you come back?
Well, I enjoyed my time at Union County. I can't say enough great things about Union County. Coach Andrew Thomas, the head coach, was awesome. His staff was great. Honestly, my son and daughter-in-law and grandkids had just moved back last May from Texas to St. Augustine, and I thought not being the head coach might give me more time with the family. So that was really the big part of me leaving Oakhall. But I quickly realized, it's the same amount of practice, same amount of film study, same amount of coaching. So it really didn't give me any more time with the family. And I, quite frankly, I missed being the head coach here. And that has, again, nothing to do with any anything negative with Union County. We made it to the Final Four. We lost to the eventual state champion, Madison County. And I enjoyed my time. I got to coach alongside Scott McDaniel, who I coached under here my first year at Oakhall in 2014. So he and I got to coach again together. It was a great experience, but, ultimately I just missed being the head coach at Oakhall. And, the good Lord reopened the door, I guess, or kept the door open, and I was able to come back in January. And, we've been busy ever since. So it's great to be back here for sure.
Before I ask about Oakhall, how fun was it getting to the Final Four?
It was awesome. In my whole coaching career, I've never gotten to coach on Thanksgiving morning, and that's every high school coach's goal, really a dream, because you're in the regional semifinals, and it was an amazing experience for us. We ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw. Madison County, obviously, they won the state championship, so got to coach at Boot Hill up there, which is kind of a famous stadium. But it was great. I had a wonderful experience out there, and the community rallies around the team, and so it was fun, a lot of fun.
Tell me about your team this year.
We are very young. We will have 28 on our roster, which is about normal for us, 25 to 30. We will be dressing 11 freshmen and 3 eighth graders. So half of our roster are youngins, real youngins. And so, with that will come some bumps in the road. But the kids are very coachable. They're great kids. Tough kids. We've had a lot of great senior leadership. I have 6 captains this year.
Wow.
Which I've never had that many captains, but it was really important. With me coming back in January, I wanted to, make sure we had senior leadership. 4 of our 6 captains are seniors and 2 are juniors. So I leaned on them early on with meetings and with trying to, make sure that we were kind of a united front getting back, and they've been awesome. Aaron Akins, our senior, has been very instrumental in leading by example, leading in the weight room. Again, young team, but we also have some really good senior and junior leadership with the captains.
Tell me about the first week opponent.
Well, so we have Bronson. We were supposed to play Bell last week, and that was going to count as a regular season game because we're both in the Sunshine State Athletic Association. So if you play an SSAA opponent in week 0, it counts. So we were bummed that we didn't get to play. We waited till 8:45, and then there was another lightning strike, and the officials didn't want to kick off the game at 9:15. So unfortunately, which we wouldn't have gotten it anyhow. I mean, it sat over us. The storm just came and sat over us. And we were looking to actually reschedule for Saturday, but some things didn't work out. So our home opener now is Bronson tonight. It was supposed to be at Bronson, but some things at their place weren't ready, so we're playing tonight at Bronson. They're also a young team. They struggled somewhat last year. I know their coach is in year 2, so he's in a rebuilding stage. They're a big team up front. I've said before, we don't win many eye tests in terms of size. I think I'm over in that standpoint. We don't typically have large offensive linemen, so we run a system that kind of takes advantage of their quickness and strength and toughness. But Bronson will be tough up front. They run single wing, so they're old school. They want to run the football. So I told my defensive line, you got to buckle up and get ready, because they're going to come after us and try and put more hats on hats and try and beat us on the ground. So it's going to be a tough opponent.
RJ, I got a minute left. I understand there's a new facility being built, a new gym there. You don't hear about that a lot at the high school level. Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. We're going to have 3 full courts, multi-purpose, multi-surface courts, similar to what's there in the Alachua County rec. I don't even know what they call it. The one in Celebration Point.
Yep.
So it can be used if we have lightning. We can go in and have plenty of room. Almost as like an indoor facility for football. It's a 2,500 square foot state-of-the-art weight room, which is going to be huge. We're really excited. It's just, further shows Oakhall is building, and, I know our head of school, his goal is, to be, the best academic school, the best in arts and athletics. So they're very supportive. We're really excited. They're supposed to be breaking ground in October, so keep our fingers crossed that we'll be in it by next summer. So that's the goal.
That's cool. RJ, good to have you back. We'll get you back as the season rolls along. So good luck tonight.
Thanks. Thank you.
You got it, RJ.
Day.
You got it. RJ Fuhr, head coach over at Oakhall. Again, want to thank all of our guests today, RJ Fuhr, Mark Whittemore, the two high school football coaches, Kyle Crooks, being here as well, and of course, Urban Meyer tomorrow, if all goes according to Hoyle. Herm Edwards, the coach, will talk a little NFL from ESPN. Max Chadwick from Pro Football Focus will talk some college football. Jonathan Acosta up in Buffalo will talk about the Buffalo Bills, and we may add one or more interviews as well for tomorrow's show. Thanks to Jessica for producing today. And again, want to thank all of our sponsors, Ruse Ogra for sponsoring our Facebook Live questions, Campus USA for doing our YouTube questions, Titan MRI and Imaging on our phone line, International Diamond Center for our emails, our clip of the day from Fairlife Milk, Meldon Law always sponsoring our guests, Quality Plumbing, our first hour sponsor, QC Kinetics, our second hour sponsor as well. And don't forget, if you want to advertise, contact Freddie 352-284-3733. Next, This Week in Gator Sports, Jeremy St. Louis comes your way. We will see you tomorrow on Sports Scene. As always, we thank you for listening. We thank you for participating. It's great to be back and great having you here. I'm Steve Russell. You are listening to WRUF, powered by ESPN. See you tomorrow.